In this world, I intentionally limit my progression. With each episode in this series, I'll unlock more materials, transportation, and quests until I fully experience every part of Minecraft's core game. Alright, so I know the cave goes further behind this waterfall, but I don't know how much further. Oh, wow. So this cave does go pretty far over here. Oh, we got another geode. I think that's what that is. Yeah, that's definitely a geode. Last episode, I found this cave and transformed it into my mining base. But I realized that I had left many areas of it unexplored. So my objective for the start of today is to finish exploring all of its uncharted corners. Oh, too many skeletons. Too many skeletons. I may have been a bit overzealous. No! Wait, no. I had put in extraordinary effort to avoid mining, looting, or even picking up diamonds. And this wasn't even the first time a creeper had blown them up. But after all of that, I was still unable to avoid getting them prematurely. Well, that's it, guys. I guess the challenge is over. I mean, I did cheat after all. No, I mean, obviously at the end of the day, it's gonna be fine. The advancement thing just kind of creates a fun moment more than anything. Really, you can still play the challenge and pick up items you're not allowed to. I had explored far enough down this tunnel and had just turned around when I had an idea. Actually, that is a good way I could save this diamond, is I'll have this zombie pick it up. There you go. That way he won't despawn. And one day I will find Diamond Zombie again, and then I can get that diamond for real. I've also been thinking a lot about what we're gonna do today, and I got some big plans I'm super excited for, but it is gonna require a ton of iron, so it's probably best to be grabbing all of this as I see it. Now, for some passages like that one, it was obvious that I'd be exploring new ground, but other findings in my cave came a bit more as a surprise. Oh, what do we got here? Zombie? Okay, that would make sense. I feel like I've been seeing a ton of zombies. I don't know if this is where they were all coming from, but right on. And other areas were a bit more of a disappointment. Yeah, this is just actually a dead end. And with that dead end, I had explored every tunnel and entrance in my cave but one. Now, I wasn't expecting to find like another massive room to my cave, but this path that I had saved for last was where I did have the highest hopes. Oh, wow. Are you serious? Wait, did I set up in the wrong cave? Wow, okay. Oh, wow. I probably just keep saying wow. Wow. I mean, my cave is nice. My cave is nice because it's easy to navigate around. This one's just kind of stunning. Oh, and another geode. I just can't get over to this cave. This is sweet. So I definitely have not explored everything this cave has to offer by any means, but my armor is breaking very fast and I would rather not lose it. So I think we are gonna head back up. Oh, I was not expecting to see that. Imagine though we get that enchanted iron chest plate. Dude, enchanted iron armor in this stage. No way, wait, what? Oh. That might have been a bit of an overreaction, but it was still a cool find. And it probably wouldn't be too long until I started wearing it because my chainmail armor was getting a little too expensive for me to keep repairing. 32 for a single one on the helmet. So while I couldn't fully repair it, it was enough for now. In order to complete the Iron Age and unlock the Nether, I still have work to do on all three goals. And today, we are gonna make some progress on that by building a forge. But before I jump into a new project, I want to start off this episode by polishing up some neglected areas. So I think what I want to do is connect to the staircase from here, have it go down this place, and then have some kind of walkway, and then I want to have it connect down into this main area. So working backwards, I started from the main hub to connect back to the staircase at the copper mine. You know, I have some ideas for these walls and maybe for changing this up, but I think I'm gonna hold off on the final design for right now and instead maybe finish getting this connected over to this staircase over here. I guess I gotta make this staircase first. So after some trial and error and a bit of wasted stone, I got the whole path connected. I'm pretty happy with that. That's a good start at least. So we got the staircase that connects up to the copper mine, and then it goes down here, down this way, and then around the corner into the main hub area. So all that left me with was tidying up our main hub. I cleaned up a lot of the miscellaneous blocks and smoothed out some bad looking areas, but the highlight is definitely the new decoration on the chest system we built last episode. Yeah, I mean, that is a huge improvement over what it was before. That looks much better. That at least looks finished. Yeah, I like it. All right, well, even though this isn't fully done by any means, I feel like we have a better blank slate for building in the future. And now I could finally move on to our main goal for today. I had been trying to make it by using temporary smelting rigs and stations, but I was overdue in my need for a proper super smelter. And I had some fun ideas planned for how we could make it really unique. Ever since I had first seen this giant deep slate room, I planned on making that my forge. And to be a forge, I wanted to include a setup for armor trims, an equipment repairing station, a lava dripstone rig, and of course, the super smelter. Now, I didn't have a clear vision for what most of that was gonna look like other than the smelter. So I started with that and mapped it out using dirt. I'm picturing something about that size that takes up this area, because I feel like the cave is kind of designed for this to be a focal point. Like the way it's sunk down there, you can picture this big hulking like lava, smoky fire furnace. My idea for the smelter was to house it inside of a big round tough oven and make it so that you would interact with it by actually going inside the structure. I wanted it to look and feel like it was powered by lava. So to pull that off, I would cover the top of it in lava and have several channels down the side that almost looked like lava gutters. But building this was gonna be a delicate balance of designing the looks and functionality, because there was a lot to fit inside this structure, especially given my redstone limitations. So a thought I had is, what if we make this thing powered off of like actual lava buckets? And stay with me here, I promise this will be cool. So I set up this like pit in the middle of our smelter with these 2 dispensers in it that I'm allowed to use because I looted them. So imagine we have like that lava dripstone set up somewhere around here, and then we can harvest it and get like a hot bar full of buckets, and then come over to the smelter and actually use them by pouring them into it. The dispensers here could be set up with something like a weighted pressure plate would work. And then if I had an empty bucket in there, yeah. So if I had the pressure plate here, that I could put the lava in, and then it could suck it up into the machine. Actually, wait, no, we don't need this one. Yeah, so we would just need the 1 dispenser. Yeah, I'm kind of liking that. Then it actually makes it feel a lot more like it's powering it. So I think that's pretty cool. So now we just got to figure out how to do that without redstone, which is going to be a bit of a struggle. So if I'm not mistaken, if we have the lava in there, and then we fill this thing up with at least 2 buckets on each of them, and then I click it, it should shoot the bucket out instead of picking it up, I think. Yes, which then we could use a minecart hopper, actually. Although, between all the hoppers, buckets, and minecart stuff, oh, I'm already a little nervous for the amount of iron I'm gonna go through on this project. So that we could actually like somehow send this minecart off up to these furnaces. With the idea all sorted out, there were 3 main obstacles left to get it to work. First, setting up a system for inputting items. Then collecting the outputs from the furnaces into a single chest. And finally, dealing with the empty buckets, which was gonna be deceptively complicated. Because after the lava was used, the empty buckets would be pulled out in the same hopper line that moves all the smelted outputs. But those buckets need to be sorted out and pushed back into the lava collection system. And although I don't have redstone to sort items, furnaces actually have a built-in item sorter. Because if you set up a hopper pointing into the back or sides of a furnace, only items that can be fuel will make it through. What this means is a furnace will allow empty buckets to be deposited and pulled from it, and no other smelting outputs. Well, almost no other smelting outputs. One major drawback is I won't be able to smelt any items that are also fuel. Which is fine because those items are pretty limited and I'll have no issue avoiding them. The other problem though is because I am not allowed redstone, I can't use the usual sorting method of locking and unlocking the hopper. So the hopper will have to be unlocked at all times. And the only way that will work is if every slot from the dispenser back to the filter is fully backed up with buckets, which gets expensive quick. Yeah, we need to have 80 buckets in each hopper, all the way around this thing, back to here for each one of those. That's a lot of buckets. wait a second. No, I'm dumb. Instead of having to filter at each hopper and then route it all the way down, or at each of these 3 furnace segments, what we can do is just run the whole line together, and then right before it gets to the final output chest, then we filter it out. Well, that's awesome. So that should save us a lot of iron. With that figured out, I laid down the hoppers to connect all the furnaces to the output chest. Then I set up the rail to move the lava buckets up to the furnaces. It is not powered yet, but it should allow this hopper to go up here, go around these, and then hit this one and bounce back all the way back down. Now, of course, a hopper minecart only has 5 slots in it, and there are 12 different furnaces here. And since we know that hoppers, when you put an item in them that doesn't go into a furnace, it won't push through. So what we could do is we can actually filter out so there's only 1 slot for an item to go in. And that way, the hopper minecart wouldn't need to take 15 trips to fill up the whole system. And I wouldn't need to stock 72 buckets of lava. From there, I could add the powered rails and do a quick test run to make sure it was all working. Yep. Looks good. Next, I had to find a way to power the rail from the platform so that I'd be able to send off the minecart. If I did something like this and put the button right there, I wonder, could I reach that from the top? So yeah, I could easily reach that. And that means that the last thing the lava system needed was some buckets. Oh man, this is like all my iron too. Let's see how many that got us. Oh, ouch, okay. So I now have this dispenser absolutely full of buckets because these hoppers are always going to be feeding into it, and these need to stay backed up so that this hopper stays backed up. I hope that there's not just some obvious way to do this that I'm not thinking of. I mean, we've made some good progress on this thing so far, but I think before I get any further, I do want to build up a supply of iron again. So yeah, let's take a quick pause from this. We'll come back to this iron sinkhole in a second, but I think what I want to do is set up similar to our copper mine. I want to make a nicer iron mine. In fact, I might even copy the same door. I really liked that door from last time. Yeah. I like it. A little one of these. Yeah. I also copied the same mining method that I used in the copper one, with the larger main hallway as a starting point for the strip mines off to the side. So I've spent a little while strip mining. For iron actually, which is not something that I think I've ever done before. And I'll be honest, it's probably not a very good idea. The strip mining I did end up getting a lot from, but that was only just because I was hitting the caves that I hadn't harvested the iron from and was able to get a ton from there. So that being said, we do have a decent amount of iron here. Well, let's see how many buckets we can make with this iron. So that will fill that up with buckets, fill that up with buckets. We can fill that up with buckets. Then all that was left was the filter itself. So this is gonna be a bit of a delicate balancing act because this needs to have somewhere between 1 and 15 buckets in it at all times. Oh yeah, okay. This might be a little bit of a problem. And that was because with each of the 12 furnaces and their single hopper space behind them, the system could fluctuate between 0 and 24 buckets. And because they only stack to 16, that means that this filter would overflow and lose buckets in the output. This would lead to the filter eventually running out of buckets and no longer being a filter. And obviously we can't have that. So what I can do instead, I think, is this. So now the filter will pull buckets from the output chest instead of before it. And that will let us keep like a reservoir of extra buckets in there. Now, it wasn't a very satisfying solution to hold the overflow buckets in the smelting output chest, but it's one of those compromises that you just have to make because of the limitations. But with that sorted out, that meant that my bucket return and item output systems were fully working, and I could move on to the final piece of the puzzle, the item input. Okay, so I think I want to look at each of these 3 furnace segments as different units. And I'd want the option to be able to run either all the furnaces or maybe just like 1 or 2 of the units. Because I don't want to spread the items out too thin across all the furnaces because I'm using lava as a fuel. So if I had like 6 stacks of items to smelt, that would mean that each furnace is only smelting 32 items when a bucket of lava can actually smelt 100, and I'd be wasting a lot of fuel. So I just got to figure out how to divide items from 1 input source into 3 different furnaces evenly. I mean, I could do a separate minecart that just bounces back and forth. Yeah, so I could do something like that. That's empty, and then 9, 13, and 9. So the middle gets a little bit more in this situation, I guess. I really wanted the items to be evenly split if I was able to. So I tried using stationary hopper minecarts. Does that distribute it? No, I guess right now where it's at, it wouldn't. What if they're just on this and I just kind of push them together? Does that work? Oh, dang it, do those not? Okay, let me try this slightly differently then. Okay, then I think we can just drop them on this track. This, I think I should be able to take 30 tough, put it in that chest. Why are these still not taking it out of the chest? But no matter what I tried, I just couldn't get them to work. Like if I did a chest here instead, does that work? Oh yeah, that takes it out fast. All right, let me try this. So I put 30 items in there, and so hopefully we'll see. Okay, so that did work. This system distributes the items evenly. And all it was a hopper minecart on top of 3 different hoppers that each connect back to a furnace. Yeah, I think I'll be all right with that. And that was the last obstacle I needed to solve for this furnace to work. But before I closed it in and finished the design, I wanted to give it a full test to be sure of that. And to do that was gonna take a bit of lava. So I started work on the dripstone and cauldron rig. So I've been trying to think of a way for like a lava dripstone, some kind of lava farm to work in this cave. I just had this idea and I think I kind of want to try it. If you can picture those like factories where there's the big crucibles on like a conveyor belt, but like it's like hanging, you know? I'm wondering if I could do something like that. And the first step of that was to design the crucibles. So first, it's gonna be a lot easier to build this on the ground. So my first thought is if we do cauldron, can we put levers on it? No. Because you know, I wanna have some kind of chain holding these up. Are iron bars gonna stick to the side of it? No, they don't. Another option we have is we could make each one of these cauldrons like jumbo cauldron, right? And then add some blocks to the bottom, like maybe some deep slate something, so it looks more like a full cauldron. Yeah, something like that could work. I also decided to test an even bigger one, just to be sure. This would look really cool in a bigger cave, but I think because this cave isn't huge, I think I need to find something smaller. That looks great. With my cauldron design figured out, I started work on the rails that they would hang from. Ultimately, I decided on this tough wall, mostly because it was just one of the walls that didn't have obvious tiling. Yeah, I think this is perfect. Okay, so before, oh man, when I play Minecraft, it is like, to do this, I need to do this, and to do that, I need to do that. Like in order to finish decorating our main interior base, I wanted to smelt up a lot of stone, but before smelting up a lot of stone, I wanted to make this big smelter. But before finishing the big smelter, I wanted to have a lava supply going. But before getting the lava supply going, I needed to figure out the design. And now that I got the design figured out, I need to actually make the lava come down onto it. It's just like one thing after the other. So yeah, let me go ahead and sort out how to make the lava drip in there. So I dug this channel above the cauldrons so that it would be easy to add in all the lava. And then it was just as simple as lining up the dripstone and gathering the lava. All right, yeah, looks like I got it. And so you might be thinking to yourself, well, this is a little bit inconvenient to have to climb all the way up here to harvest this lava or to see it, and I totally agree. So I have an idea on what we're gonna do. The first thing I had to do was find the spot where I'd be able to jump up to see the lava and also reach all 4 cauldrons. Once I figured that out, I could lay down the walkway. I'll be honest, it doesn't look exactly like what I thought it would, but I think it's gonna work for now. I think my big issue with it right now is I feel like it needs segments, whether that's like something holding it up or like, I don't know. It just needs like breakpoints somewhere in it, but I'm good with that for the time being. We got other things to worry about right now. And with the catwalk setup, I was able to go ahead and build the second crucible. Oh man, this feels cool too. Like this is another one of those immersive builds where like it actually feels like I'm working at some dwarven underground factory. I am still gonna build the rest of the cauldrons, but as of now, I did have a functioning lava farm, which meant I could finally test my furnace so I could finish building it. So yeah, we put bucket of lava in there that we got from our crucibles. Pick it up. Here, let's do this. Bucket, pick it up. And then we can send that minecart off. And we'll see, does the first one get one? No, I think the second. So it skips the first one on the first time around. Oh, and it skipped, wait. And of course, it didn't work. But luckily, it was a super easy fix of just removing the blocks that had fallen in the hoppers when I was building. With that sorted out, I could give it another test. Okay, and then we can send the minecart off again. Let's see, that one got one now, that one got one, that one got one. Awesome, okay, so the lava buckets are working. So then I'll go and just use these 3, and we'll toss in all 5 of these cobblestone stacks, or almost 5 stacks. And we should see, Yep, all 3 of them fire up, and they all should get a pretty even distribution. And then as that stone gets smelted, it should end up over here. Oh, yeah. Yes, okay, sweet. So the buckets from this also got fed over to here. So you'll see right now our overflow is at 3. So if I do these other 5 buckets here. Oh, I think the cart's full. Okay, so I accidentally just wasted a lava bucket. So you do have to be careful of that because you could accidentally burn buckets. So this should be empty now, yep. And then this hopper should have like, is it 14? Yeah, yes, this is all working, awesome. That's so exciting. Now we have a lava powered furnace that like has a cool lava interface that we get from our lava crucibles. Man, I am super stoked with how that turned out. Well, now that I'm comfortable that this machine is working as it should be, we can go and actually build the design around it. The actual shape of the forge is gonna be super simple. I pretty much just extruded up the outline that I had built on the ground. I think that I'm liking this design, but it is a lot of tough and it's very difficult to make out the shape. And these channels will each have some lava flowing down them. So I think that once that lava is there, it'll be a lot easier to see the shape. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and pour some lava down them. Yeah, I was right. That does really bring this shape together. And it adds a lot more color into it too. I might need to make it so that this one is a block higher. Actually, no, that is right. This one must just have an extra block in it somewhere. All right, let's go pick up this lava so I can get back to work. Because the design was already figured out and all I had to do was copy it, this part went by super quick. All right, I think that is the main shell pretty much complete. And yeah, what's nice is I actually had a lot more space in here than I thought I would, and I was able to make a path that goes all the way around this build. So I have access to the basement through here. I can, of course, get into the main smelting area through here. And then around this way, well, I can see the minecart going up here. And then I have access to the output chest here. And the last touch that the build needed was the lava on top. Oh, this is so exciting. Dude, look at that furnace, man. Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. Look at that. And for this new Super Smelters maiden voyage, I cooked up a fresh batch of iron so that I could also go ahead and finish the lava farm. Ooh. That's amazing. I was so stoked with how the crucibles had come out. The balance between the look and functionality in this room was exactly what I was hoping for. But before I go and add decoration to this room, it was time for me to finally retire the chainmail. And with that, we are fully ironed out. I now had a fast furnace and an endless fuel source, which meant I was only limited by the amount of cobblestone and deep slate I could mine. So I smelted up tons of both and could finally spend some time polishing my cave. I started with this bridge to safely connect the furnace room to the main hub. From there, I kept the natural carved from stone look and cleaned up the main hub. I added staircases to connect the different levels, and while it still looks fairly natural, I'm pretty happy with the state of it. After that, I moved over to the smeltery and tried building a hole in the wall where the crucibles are supposedly moving through, but I hit diamonds behind them, of course. And I thought I could get away with making it shallow, but I'm not super happy with how that turned out. So I'll probably be revisiting that in the future. And finally, I transitioned over to the main walkway area, and I built this copper grate floor over some lava channels that I carved out. And I was super happy with how that one came out. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's looking pretty cool. I'm a fan. See, I think adding smoke to the lava really sells the heat in this area. Now, I will say this area is kind of weird for me. I don't like the way it feels like a pool or something right now. Honestly, maybe this is the issue right here. I think changing those from blocks into to railings actually fixes a lot of my issues with this area. So yeah, that's better. I usually play with gamma increased so that you can actually see what I'm doing when I'm in a cave or something. But without gamma, this is actually what the cave looks like. Like, this is the fully vanilla look. Like you can see these areas where we have a bunch of lava and fire are really well lit up over there. And I think it does a great job of highlighting the forge down there. Anyway, in order to fully satisfy our forge goal, we will also need to add the place for the armor trims and for tool repair. However, of course, I am out of time for this video. So join me next time as I complete my goals for the Iron Age to unlock a new dimension.